CN22s.
Well, second time around, I was 10 short.
Oh,
So I thought, well, it's okay. I'll just take them anyway. And I said to the girl, I said, I'm 10 short of these stickers. So she gave me the stickers. And I just stood there while she did all this postage thing. And I had to do them before she did the machine. I was thinking she would do the machine and I'd just stand to the side and let Mrs. Smith come to the counter. So everybody's going crazy, you know? And I'm scribbling my address on this bloody ticket thing.
No, I just got a roll of about 200 this morning off another. I had to go looking around because the local post office I go to said, "Sorry, we've run out of stickers. We've only got a few left. We don't get any more to the 11th." And I'm like, I can't wait to post everybody's stuff for the 11th. So I had to go round checking up in different post offices to see if they can give me some stickers.
And everybody else now will be disappointed when they go into that office.
Yeah. Well, no, I ended up going to a big one and they had loads of rolls, so they just handed me a roll.
Yeah. Told her to send some to the local office.
Yeah. So they should all be finished posted by the end of next week, which is pretty much my target when it came to the new year. I said it would all be printed in March and start going out to post by the end of March, and 50% of all the post has gone. So we're more than 50%. So I'm pretty much on target.
When I went in the post office to get some, they gave me 5. I said, no, I need more. I need 55. You know, they were like gold. I thought, you know, they're not yours.
Yeah. You can go online and you can buy a roll, but apparently the ones online don't come with a barcode, so they're useless anyway. So what's the point?
Vic, thanks for listening in. This is the postage hour.
Yeah, thanks, Vic.
No, not really. This is Comics by Night, folks. Come on in. We see you out there. Hit that like button. Hit that love button. The chat is open and active already. Hello, Michael. Hello, Vic. Hope you're doing well. We're here to look at some great stuff. Great stuff. More great stuff. Hope you got a chance to see last week's show. It was a blast. And I'm going to run the opening and we'll get right into it. Here we are. It's a short one. Where's the short one? There it is. I think that's it.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with you.
Hey, everybody, welcome in. Come on in. We are going to take a further look at the Alex Toth by Design book. This is a collection of Alex Toth's character sheets and animation notes, plus his own personal notes besides, all put together into a book that had a very limited print run, thanks to a cease and desist from Hanna-Barbera, who told him, don't do it again. Anyway. But it's phenomenal work. Earlier, we were looking at Space Ghost. We were looking a little bit at Shazam and the different characters. Just beautiful character sheets here. Done by Alex Toth, true master of the industry here. Let me enlarge that camera just a hair.
That's it. That's great.
Take all that in. Good to go. Can we see that? That's where we left off last time. We're looking at Birdman villains.
I love those wings. They look like they're made out of gold.
Yeah, metallic. Yeah. Just, they look solid.
Yeah.
So much great design work in this book. We kind of overloaded with it last week. Here's some more. Look at that very simple robot.
Just remind us when this is from, Randy.
This is from Birdman, which is the 1967.
Right. Okay.
Birdman show. There was a whole series of superhero shows that Hanna-Barbera did. That was after they did Johnny Quest in prime time,
right,
for a season, and got paid a certain amount per episode, and they offered Hanna-Barbera the same amount if they did Saturday morning cartoons, as many as they could possibly do. So they shut Johnny Quest down and they started working on Saturday morning cartoons. And the first set to come out were superheroes that Hanna-Barbera and Alex Toth created. And along with the Fantastic Four, they had Fantastic Four first season, Birdman, Space Ghost, Mighty Mightor, Herculoids.
Wonderful.
We'll be looking at some Herculoids here in a minute.
We said last week about how he never draws sort of a face on face, as it were, or a figure.
Uh-huh.
If you look at the robot man, one of them is sort of the other side, opposite the other side from that, just across there. The way he's walking towards you, and the other guy is just standing there, and then the general guy below is walking rather than, and he's taking his hat off to you. You know what I mean? That fantastic movement that he does in the artwork. He just doesn't do straight on shots.
Right.
They're all mostly 3/4, aren't they, or whatever? And
or if he does, it's from an odd camera angle. Here's a bird's eye view.
And then then to the right of that, there's that little guy, or him from the behind. The little tiny drawing. No, left, that one there. Yeah. The way he's fitted him in. It's that big guy, isn't it? And he's just looking from the back. Mm-hmm. Just amazing. It's lovely.
And these are probably 4 8.5 by 11 sheets here.
Right.
Drawn on probably with marker. Probably not much brushwork.
He's got those chiseled cheeks again.
Yeah. Depending upon what's needed. The shadow around the eye there is just amazing.
That guy looks like...
Is it that villainous look?
That guy looks like Klaus Nomi. Do you know Klaus Nomi? Look at that.
It's more like Boris Karloff there.
Yeah. It's fantastic, isn't it? It's wonderful.
It's an old sea captain with a patch.
Yeah.
It's Bird Boy right there.
Looks a little like Silver Surfer, doesn't he?
I'm going to say it looks like Silver Surfer gone to a Nick Fury convention.
Here, yeah.
Wow! Look at the guy just to the left of that Silver Surfer guy with the open uniform, like a Navy uniform. Yeah, the guy standing. It's like the way it's just open, no shading. It's just wonderful.
There's a lot of that in this.
It's got great shape in it, though, isn't it? You can see the weight of the man. His structure, brilliant. Yeah,
it is great. And that angle from the kid at the top next to the boat, that sort of down shot.
Yeah, this episode is called Moray of the Deep. So the guy is kind of sharky looking.
And then just further along, the way they're walking towards you again on that bottom right hand panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, just walking towards. Just phenomenal. It's just wonderful, the angles that he does.
Ship work here, something real simple. Flyer. Almost looks like a lemon. Dragon, great stuff.
I like the old Dan Dare style type of, before the space program style, like what's it called, Buck Rogers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
the spaceships have that kind of quality to them.
I've got some of that collected too.
Oh, we'll look at that later. Is that Peter Parker there, the top left-hand corner on the bottom page, under your thumb? That guy
it
there.
Does look a bit,
It does, yeah. Looks
Peter
a lot
Parker.
like him. Pretty typical for the day.
Yeah.
Except the squared heroic chin.
See, again, do you remember a few weeks ago we were talking about Walt Simonson doing those fantastic galleons, those ships?
Uh-huh.
Look at those yachts he's drawn there in the middle. It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that dinghy at the top. Amazing. And then he goes down and he's doing spaceships and ray guns. Mm-hmm. So you've gone from like normality to science fiction. Fantastic! It's just brilliant, isn't it? And he looks like that headpiece there. That headpiece, looks like Ant-Man, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Comes down as a breather.
Yeah.
For when he's swimming. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And yet still villainous looking. So,
Yeah. I think that's the beard, isn't it? And the little goatee thing.
The angry goggles here. Coming in on a pinch. Cool little bird boy.
Bird boy.
Look at that guy. That's awesome. A little bit of cowboys just for fun. Pirates. Here we are. Get to draw everything. Sandman. There it's Birdman. Marco. Something Marco. Guy looks like an old pulp hero character. He's got his own gun. And, yeah.
Doesn't matter which character or what kind of genre they are. You can see the love that's put into them.
That's crazy imagination.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. He's great, isn't he? I like him.
I can just hear his voice, you know.
Yeah, he talks like that.
Yeah, out the side of his mouth. I'll get you, Birdman. I got a giant Lotus robot that'll kill you. Yeah. Great stuff. And they did a Wild West one just for fun, apparently. Pirate one. The guy in the bullet head.
Is that a missile there or a spaceship?
Where? Here?
On the back of that truck.
Looks like a missile.
Yeah, it's a
Looks
serious.
like, one of the Apollo.
Yeah, it does.
Like
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It looks like a serious piece of equipment, whatever it is.
Treads there right out of Thunderbirds, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, why draw wheels when you can draw tractor treads?
Absolutely. It's always been my motto.
Yeah.
Just look at that. Like that.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Every page turn is crazy. Yeah.
Looks a bit like a Xylon, doesn't he, that guy?
Great use of solid blacks.
Yeah.
These are Galaxy Trio villains here. Galaxy Trio were a set of 3 Space Rangers, 2 guys and a girl. They have little bars on their chest. First guy can turn into vapor. The girl can control gravity and fly. And the third guy was Meteor Man, who could get real big and smash things.
That bottom page there, where your right thumb is, I'm getting Darth Vader vibes from him.
There, yeah.
Nice spikes.
Yeah.
So I'm loving that guy.
Yeah.
Pretty hot. Little gladiator. They look like statues.
Yeah.
They were probably like moving chess pieces or something.
Look at the way that guy there, where your thumb is, he's just walking towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah, slight
Just
raise.
one leg lifted
Yeah.
up. You don't want to be boring. Yeah. It's a little bit of Neil Adams look in that too.
Yeah.
Maybe from the way it was inked. Thick, thin. It's Calyx. The latest drug for warts. There we are. Nice plane.
Yeah, it looks like Howard Hughes's
Grey
goal.
Goose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, they're in space, so they have to have bubbles.
Yeah.
Just great stuff. Another warrior robot looking character spaceship here. Very simple circle. Half a circle. 3 hot dogs, even sausages right there. Good to go. Just like a bundle of sausages right there. That might make a good spaceship.
Look, it looks like one of those saving energy bulbs that never light up when you're actually in the room.
There you go. Yeah. It does now.
It's fantastic.
Look at that. The cloak there, a little slit for the eyes.
Look, the way he's just leaning forward a bit as well, just bending at the waist a bit, isn't he?
Yeah.
Makes him look more menacing.
Not only that, but the costume is just genius in its simplicity, you know. Just incredible stuff. Little cobra.
Yeah. Look at his head.
Here.
Look at his head. Fantastic. He must have had a bit more time there. He decided to draw the inside of a building, inside of a hangar or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a quick lesson in perspective for everybody, you know.
You got to keep them kids on their toes. I'm sure that's what he was thinking. Another nice ship, very simple, very solid looking. Great electrical beast here. This is from young Samson and Goliath. Villains here, great monster. Look at that.
What's happened to that guy there underneath? What's the black?
Which guy here?
No, the next one up, next one over you on the right. The dragon person. What's that black? What's going on?
Shadow.
Is he being hit by something?
No, he's smoldering a little bit. It looks like he might be in a volcano.
Right.
The Great Wizard is the volcano. I think he's got written here.
Right.
Of the volcano, the Great Wizard of the volcano.
Love the snow monster or whatever it is, ice monster.
That's just
No, but down below.
Here, this electrical beast.
Oh, is it electric? Is it right?
He looks electrical here in his face. He's got the
He's
drawing
his arms up towards you as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Looking for a name here. Just says revised. His name is revised. Aurora Borealis.
Right.
Of course, Professor. Obvious.
Yeah, he's got a pipe.
Eskimo. Yeah.
Bald head, glasses, pipe.
Yeah.
It's a prof. Looks like he likes the odd Dunkin' Donut as well.
He looks like that guy at the office, doesn't he? The British office. The one who don't say anything.
Oh, yeah. He's probably gone bald now as well.
Yeah. A lot of it going around. You know the guys on the left there where your thumb is, those
Inuits.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
Eskimos.
Yeah, Eskimos. That they what I think is good about those faces is that they're not like the other stuff we were looking at where they're offensive.
They're realistic and not stereotypical. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for, yeah.
Not over exaggerated.
Just they're simple and yet effective.
Yeah. That's Toth in general. Simple but effective.
Look at that cloak on the Roman guy below there on the left. That cloak. The folds on that cloak.
The lines.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
It's a nice ship. Great perspective here.
And that I don't know about you, Randy, but Russ, that plane there with them wings sticking up looks like one of those you make out of paper.
Oh yeah. If you're clever, what you do is you do it long ways, and you fold the bits up, and then you can fold the nose down, and you can call it Concorde.
Yeah. Same thing. So you've been there, done that.
You'd like the kids had come home from school. And look, we made paper airplanes. And it's be like, but do you know how to make it supersonic?
Yeah.
Just
fold the little wings up and put the nose down. There you go.
Yeah.
Chat's going crazy. Loved last week's show. Thank you, Michael. I didn't, but I saw Alex Toth, so I figured it'd be entertaining. We try. Toth was a great artist. He had a better temper. More people would love it. Oh, if he had a better temper, more people would love his work. I don't know. Some guys, you get stuck in your ways, and you just
we're looking at the work, not the man, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. The Alex Toth book, Genius Animated, the cartoon art of Alex Toth, will be out in October. I don't know. I don't know about that. Might actually look like that. Right? Is that the book you were talking about? That's been out for a couple years. That book has got a lot of character drawings in it too, but not as many as what's in the InDesign book. Plus, there's some other stuff we're about to come up to that's just amazing. So he went through and cleaned out his file cabinets on this and just printed a large book of everything. So it's more than just character drawings in this book. So big book I'm after this year is that Spirit Artist Edition from Eisner. Yeah, that's nice that they're kicking one out. I had no idea. I've been hearing the name Boris Karloff 800 times a day for the past minute. Yeah. Alex Toth is a masterful artist, but it's one angry mug. Yes. From what I understand, he was a lot kinder towards the end. He had no respect, no love for this work here, especially. It was just a grunt job to him. That's why they printed this book in general, just out of his file cabinet.
I think
because he didn't think
the next
thought
comment
it'd be
made that point.
Pardon? Oh,
the next comment makes that point. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't read down that far. Alex Toth mellowed out towards the end.
Yeah,
made peace with a bunch of people. Yep, sure did. That's good because I hate the idea of such an amazing artist being that hateful. Let's just get
I don't know that he was hateful. He was just grumpy.
Yeah. There's just, and it's not even that as much as the notes that I've seen, and there's a lot of notes in this book as well. There's just a lot of stupidity he didn't want to put up with. You know, and he wasn't afraid to call it out either. He had practically no filter when it came to no tolerance to stupidity.
I think he had a high bar for himself, and he expected other people to meet it as well.
Yep. Why do I have to work at my day job and not be able to see the show? Why? Greetings, sinners. Greeting, Marvy. Hope you're doing well. We're always archived over on the Indie Comics Network. In fact, we get bigger numbers from people watching us afterwards because we're on so early here in the States. So, because life is a pain, Marvy. Yep. You guys know what the print run is on this. This had a print run of 10,000, and it didn't last for very long. It went through the comic shops. Doesn't even carry a UPC code. So they sold them all through the comic shops. They went for $25 a piece at the time. You get up on eBay, and some guys are selling it for $3. Some are selling it for $3.75 with an autograph by the guy who put the book together. I think it was around 500 were made before the cease and desist. No, that there is a rule of 500. I was under the understanding that there was 10,000 of them done. I had the opportunity to buy 2 more volumes when this was first out, and I should have picked them up, but they're floating around here, around the mid-Michigan area somewhere. So I'm never going to have one of them. Well, only if you want to pay a lot. The Genius animated book gets really close to what's in this. It just doesn't have all of it. That's why we're looking at this instead of the other book I just showed you. That's the book, but it'll be.
Will it be in paperback? That would be good.
And that, yep, exactly. Much more affordable. We hate you so much, Randy, in a good way, of course. Thanks, Marty. Just collected a lot of this stuff over the years. Paperback's always cheaper. Yep. It's all good. IDW makes some really, really nice collection books. Great, absolutely phenomenal strip reprint books. I just wish they had as much care on their other products as they do their reprints. So whoever's been running that, kudos to them. The artisan edition books are phenomenal. All 3 of the Alex Toth books that they did are just incredible. Here we are again. We're still on Samson. Look at that guy. He's a nutty professor there. He looks like, who's that? Not Walter Winslow. There's old.
Oh, yeah.
Like
yeah, I can't think of his name. I know you mean.
He was one of those guys that you saw all over the place in television in the 60s.
Yeah. Never the leading role.
Yep.
But had a good career.
One of those guys from that thing, they call it. Yeah.
He put some feathers on his head. He could be easily one of the birds from Looney Tunes.
It's just because you're thinking Tweety. It's just because it was
Tweety Pie.
I was thinking like was it the hawks, the rooster, the chicken hawks, whatever they are.
Oh, Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah, Foghorn Leghorn, and the mother and the father, and the little kid went out.
Yeah,
but in the mother and the father was this guy sitting there reading his paper in his little wood house. It was great.
I like the way he's obviously timid because he looks like he's startled in that drawing, doesn't he?
Say what now? What?
Sorry,
what did you say? Sorry.
This guy, bottom left, this guy, the way he looks like he's timid because of the way he's standing and
Yeah, just
like he's
brilliant
seen
body
a mouse.
language.
Yeah, seen a mouse or something startled him. Yeah,
backing out a little. Yeah.
And there's those, and to the right of him, there's those guys with the cheekbones again, with a single swipe of that marker or brush or whatever he's using.
Yeah,
yeah,
the robot. Yeah, what a cool looking robot though.
Yeah, he looks like Frankenstein, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's Rogor.
And you've got
Dr. Durin's monster robot. Yeah.
And you've got the soldiers, one at attention and one at ease.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you were saying before, Russ, about the blacks. Look at the leggings on that guy there with the waistband and all that, and the way. Mm-hmm. Look at where he's walking away from you. The way he leaves that line on that calf.
Yeah, and the line on the thigh back.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here's Dr. Ruran. Oh, and by the way, here's a robot bat.
Yeah, he's great, isn't he?
Robot
like
bat.
him.
Yeah.
Robot bat.
That's great.
It's brilliant.
Look at this guy with his great temples.
He looks like the guy in the Sopranos who's got you know what I mean? His hair.
He looks like the alien at the end of Star Trek in the credits that always used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah, he does. The face, absolutely.
If you take the hair away and just have the outline of his head, that's what he looks like. I always used to stop. I got to the end of the Star Trek credits and I'd always look away because there was this horrible alien face here.
And a great 3/4 shot here with the chin jutting out, just phenomenal.
Lovely.
Yeah, great stuff. Here's a little magician dude up there, and a couple of frog mole characters.
The left hand side there, where you under that guy you just pointed to, that guy. It looks a bit like that, the original Thing, doesn't he? I don't mean Ben Grimm. I mean the guy in the film. You know the guy who's.
Oh right, yeah.
You know the in the ice, up in the ice wherever they are. And he's
from the episode The Coral Creature. So obviously must be the coral creature.
They should just call him Catfish.
Catfish. Yeah. Again, we're still on Samson's here. It's great. This guy's got obviously evil because he has a scar and it looks like a.
Oh, he's been using his foil again.
Very probably German as well.
Yeah,
must be.
Look at that! Look at a guy there with the head. Look at that.
That's a head and a half, isn't it? Cool.
Yeah.
So he did some other big heads like that earlier on, but completely changed the faces.
Yeah.
This one's more sort of lizard-like.
Look at the way that guy's walking towards you as well.
Flap-a-dap.
In the middle, yeah. Oh, I noticed that in your book about that. There was something in there about in your book.
Was there a couple of underfeet?
Yeah.
You've got to love an underfoot.
Of the different armor here. It's great. Now we're going back right. Moby Dick.
Just look at that. Look at the way that top left drawing of that kid is looking. Yeah, and then the one below it, the way it's just a couple of degrees tipping, isn't it? Looking down, he's just tipped. Yeah. It's just fantastic, isn't it?
Wonderful command of shape and depth.
Yeah, it's just
the revised model sheets. While the HB Super Adventurers, some vocal fans seem to truly love to vilify Moby Dick. Maybe that's one of the reasons why after Spaced Ghost, Moby's my favorite Super Venture tune. Besides the Toth designed villains that were way cooler than Aquaman's. So this was the adventures of a giant whale and his two kids that
beautiful
design sheets.
It's lovely seeing it a little bit looser.
Yeah, look at that lovely shading on that jacket.
Yeah, it's nice. Isn't it?
And again, the way that one at the top, that character at the top is walking towards you. It really is moving. You can sense the weight, like we said before, of his upper body moving forward, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, the shoulders slightly off. Yeah. Brilliant.
It's great stuff. These are more quick sketches here, trying to get the face down of the main captain character, the dad.
It's incredible with his just simple line how he can draw people, so these guys so handsome or looking like a mad scientist with just minimal lines.
You know how to strip stuff down to bare minimum, bare basics. Some this is from the Devlin cartoons about a group of stunt masters. Here. That's his backup team. A couple of storyboards. Typical lion tamer.
Yeah. And you could learn a lot from this, couldn't you? Just going through this, you could just learn so much.
That's why I bought it. You can keep looking through it, that like what we're doing now, and just pull stuff out of it still. There's so much here. Now we're up to the Herculoids. This is the initial illustration pitches that he did for the shows.
Is that one on the left wash as well?
Here?
Yeah.
It's probably a black and white shot of
color
pencil work, yeah.
Yeah.
Alex's presentation piece that sold 1967's Herculoids, originally titled Zartan.
Wow.
Off of the guy. But the real story was the zoo. It was about a family who was on a planet and they watched over all of these creatures. Not quite like a zoo. They weren't in cages or anything, but they would always end up, the planet would always end up being invaded by aliens, and they'd use all of the creatures here to defend themselves. Presentation art as I knew it, loved it, came to learn to do it at HB in full color, God bless markers, and fast. A set of 4 to 6 8x15 pieces over 9 short, or over a short weekend. From quitting time at the studio Friday night at 6 to Sunday night, driving them to hand them to Mr. B in his office, where he scanned the lot and handed them to our mat cutting crew to mount. Matt add little logos to upstairs so Joe could load them into his huge folio for Monday's AMs, or perhaps that Sunday night's red eye to New York City for Monday meets, sales pitches in the big 3 network offices, which was more usual, I think more usual than not. I'd work around the clock, literally, little or no sleep, to do the sets for him, gallons of coffee to do, and we'd get it done. From then on, it was Joe's hands and God's. TWAs, and I could go home, collapse, sleep, and revive. This is one of the original creatures that they had pitched, a little armadillo character who rolled up that didn't quite make the cut. Presentation showing Zartan with a proposed Herculoid, and Shazam below. Note Shazam's facial features altered from in the final design. Yeah, he's a little too wide-eyed and jolly there. He's a lot friendlier in the cartoon. More stuff.
Look at that.
It's a problem with our color illos and depictions of principal characters in them in sets, locales, moods, etc., was that it was all a lie. No way would could later production art look anywhere like what I set down on illo board with color. The works. Joe's sales pitches were, I'm told, amazing. He brought lots of contracts for sure to something sure in those boom years. All our series competed with each other, mostly Saturdays. So here's Tiger Joe. That didn't quite, that's production work that never quite made the pitch. We got a few other ones in here too that are kind of cool. I think I can come down on that camera a little bit more.
Like I said before, those pictures there, the guys on the left, he doesn't do offensive drawings, does he? You know what I mean?
They were all quick production work.
No, I mean they look like black guys, but they don't look they don't look offensive like that other drawing that we saw the other week. That stereotype. They look real.
Yeah,
you know, as they might be, because you know some tribes do dress like that, similar.
Well, that's what they were going for.
And that guy at the top, that's a real John Buscema pose, isn't it?
Yeah,
That,
yeah, it is.
Look at it, it's just, you know.
Well, I think what this shows is it shows a skill set that the two of them shared.
Yep.
For anatomy and you know, weight and energy.
On the other side, I thought it was a lion on a man's body when I first saw him.
Yeah.
He's just resting on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
That's like my two cats, except a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that. Wow.
This
Production bottom line, we drew them.
Got a lighting on that.
We drew them as per instruction. Per production, art would. Did we not have sold half as many shows? Glitzy fakery sells. The essence of advertising itself. The big lie. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That you can just barely see. Really bad reproduction there. Accuracy and wider use today than ever, but it makes for jobs, right? Right? Joe and I would brainstorm the illo contents, and we'd specify do's and don'ts for me to honor. For the art, I'd sketch, notate, go home, do the work. Top page, heroic and infamous conceptual leads for a futuristic version of Bonanza. The TV show. Bottom presentation, 1974's Valley of the Dinosaurs. Interesting looking horse. Here's Sequest. Before there was Sequest. This is back in, it looks like 76. They're looking for a date. But two, we do it by phone. Yep, quite a few times, in fact. He'd phone it in. Say he needed it yesterday, and I'd work through or with little or no sleep till done, and I'd deliver it or have it picked up. I live close by. I did then too. We connected, he and I, on that level. Work on the ideas given form. My input was there, but I can't something percentiles. Of
Sight.
Sight. Yeah, there it is. Percentiles to you of his versus mine. Nope, I can't recall all that. It was in passing. Give and take. Power of norm. No big thing. I didn't need much verbal elaboration on his basic idea. I got it, noted it, acted on it, enforcing it in the finishes. To his obvious pleasure, mostly. Still, we bumped heads too. No mistake. It's presentation for Robin Rader.
That guy there, Jack Davis is like that. He's showing the bottom of his foot.
Yeah. Note the list of character names under consideration for both Robin and his Johnny Quest-ish kid sidekick. Oh, there's a whole list right there.
Doom Patrol.
The Cypher, Thief of Baghdad, Super Cop.
I love the way he's written that cipher on that wall.
Yeah, isn't that good? That's very
Eisner,
isn't it? Yeah.
And the blacks are like Wally Wood, aren't they?
Yeah.
The way he's blacked it. Look at that. The case on the table. The blacks on that. Yeah. Wow.
These are all proposal pitch pictures for presentations. They never made series. None of this stuff did. I'm sure for everyone that made it, there was another, 9 or 10 that didn't. Here's Magic Man.
Looks like Doctor Strange, the guy at the bottom, doesn't he? Magic Man.
Yeah. Meant to.
Just like you can just see the way that would have been animated.
Yeah.
Like watching the other shows from the time.
Somebody should get the rights to all of these other than silly DC and do a good series of all of this stuff.
Do you know, back in the 90s, I did some storyboard designs or character designs for a supposed TV show. And it was an A1 sheet of paper, all done in pencil. And I say to myself, but it's some of the best stuff I've ever done. It was never produced, and I never saw the artwork again.
Oh.
And I specifically wanted it back. They didn't want it. But when I mentioned it, somebody thought, I'm having it. So I don't have anything from it because the show wasn't produced and I didn't have my artwork.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. Go ahead.
Hate when that happens.
Yeah. Happens to us all, doesn't
it? In one form or another. Yep. Probably the one concept Joe B could not sell the networks on was a series featuring a magician as a crime fighter. Though, as you'll see on the next 4 pages of presentations from Magic Man left and Merlin the Magician below, it wasn't for lack of trying.
I love the way he's got the M on his neck.
Yeah. That's great. Just that left-hand panel there, or the collage. That's just superb.
Yeah.
It's just flowing with energy.
And you can see with the where the markers are, can't you? Where he's used marker on it's fabulous, isn't it?
Got to get the job done.
Can you just drop it down a bit, Randy, please? That's it. Look at that.
Just love the cloak work here.
Disney-esque character on the king.
Yeah.
Look how good the cloister ceiling is as well. He's just a master, isn't he?
More Magic Man or Merlin. Bunnies. Attack of the Bunnies.
Look how you can see his hand in the dark, It's just and the way that the epaulets show you where his shoulder is and his arms are.
Yeah.
And that little belt defines how wide he is, like the hips.
It just looks effortless.
Yeah. It's fabulous, isn't it? And those rabbits just jumping off.
Just all over. Yeah. Just phenomenal.
Oh, look at the
love to see that in color.
Yeah, look at the shading on the drawing above of the guy. The coat. You know, and it's like a worm's eye view, isn't it? Looks a bit like Reed Richards, that guy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
the worm's eye view of that guy coming through. It's real sort of Sin City style, isn't it?
Mm. Wonderful lighting again.
That would have been a great series. Would have been fun. Looks like he has a girl assistant that does magic as well.
A little bit more detail in this.
That's it. Yeah, there's a lot in there.
Well, again, these are the presentation pieces. The Little Mermaid, Toth style, and predating the slightly more famous tune version by a quarter century.
Just from here, that looks
Thereabouts.
sort of Buscemi-esque as well. It's,
Yeah. That bottom one where she's sitting on the rock is the way the rock's in black, just frames her, just makes you look at her straight away, doesn't it? It's just all these little techniques and little devices that these people probably invented, never mind know about, you know.
Here's some of his automotive work. Thunderbolts, an auto racing concept, underwent a number of changes from its 72 conception, including an emphasis on its family leads and the then hot influence of stunt motorcyclist Evel Knievel to become 1974's Devlin. Devlin was a series I think ran at least one season.
That guy walking looks a bit like Dean Martin, doesn't he? Outside that famous picture when he's walking with Frank Sinatra and all that.
Yeah.
But look at the bag. I was impressed by the bag, the photographer's bag. We've all seen that bag, haven't we, with these guys?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a bag; it's a photographer's bag. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's fantastic.
In some ways, you feel like it's almost harder to make things interesting now because, you know, the 50s, 60s, 70s, there were so many curves and there were so many additional things. Like a cameraman would have a bag.
Yeah.
People don't need bags anymore. They've got cameras, digital cameras on their phones.
Yes.
So you draw in a cameraman and it's like that's that extra little evidence that guy's a cameraman. So that you don't need to see a camera per se. Like the way that he's got his hands to his head, the camera, maybe the hat as well, because, you know, the styles were what they were.
Yeah.
And then the car on the left-hand side, just have a look at the curves. And it's almost like you feel like, I wish I could just draw everything from the 60s.
Yeah.
I wish I wouldn't have to draw things so they're in modern day, you know?
Yeah. I love that car.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I bet he inked those curves just freehand as well.
Yeah.
Of the show, perfect for relaxing. Perfect in how relaxing it is to watch. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Trying to get that camera right and not yawn too much into the camera. Yeah. It's like a life version of those cartoonist kayfabe videos. Yeah. Well, we're trying to do that. The kayfabe guys are great, but there's so much more, and there's so much different great material out there that folks need to see. And especially nowadays, the kids, I mean, 20, 30 years old kids. Yeah. Coming in who don't realize who Alex Toth was or who Wally Wood was or who Ditko was, you know, there needs to be an appreciation of this stuff, and you need to see it and know that there's folks out here that appreciate and understand it.
It's long form content as well, isn't it? It's something different from what kayfabe are doing. I'm not suggesting they're rushing, but they're keeping it concise, going through, whereas we're kind of wandering around and discussing detail and stuff like that. It's just a different presentation and a different way of looking at it.
Absolutely.
Look at the way on the photographer guy in the bottom right. Look at the way you can see his camera. The camera against the black wall above the car, and the black of the wall is defining the shape of the car and the guy's head, the driver's head. A really bold use of black, and then you move over with the guy moving away from us in his trousers, all that black on his legs. It's just really, really confident and bold, isn't it? To think
It's got a very Neil Adams feel to it again.
Yeah.
To me,
Just knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
Yeah, just in capturing it. This figure here too is amazing, where he's waving that checkered flag.
Yeah.
It's got so much movement and dynamics to it. It's just great. Keep going, Vic. Sorry, we're falling behind on the chat. That's cartoonist kayfabe. He kind of looks like the Claw from Press Guardian. You watch all the credits? Dang, that's commitment.
When I was a kid, Star Trek was it. There was nothing else. There was Doctor Who, but let's face it just wasn't as flashy as Star Trek.
Yeah.
And Star Trek had Americans in it, so it was different and it was fun.
I can never understand why when people go to the cinema, as soon as it finishes, they get up and walk out. I have to know who the key grip was and all this kind of stuff. And it's the same with the TV. What they do here, I don't know. You'll have seen it, Russ. I don't know about in America, Randy. When the program's finished, the credits go really, really small because they're busy telling you what's coming next.
Telling you what's coming next. Yeah.
And I want to know who that guy was in the ice cream vendor in that film. You know, that kind of thing.
Just want.
Oh yeah, we do that all the time.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, take a bit longer, make the program longer, whatever. I don't want you to rush things. I just want to be able to see what's going on. And I do like credits. The great thing about the Star Trek credits from a kid's perspective is there were great images behind all the credits.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just a line of text.
Yeah.
Every image was an image from the shows. And you go, oh, I know that show. I saw that one. Or I haven't seen that one yet. It must be an upcoming one. So even though I was very young, I still appreciated all the stills, apart from that very last one that used to scare me stupid.
But that face is like the Zanti Misfits in
I'm
Outer
going to
Limits.
say,
It burns into your subconscious.
It does. Well, it's always there now, looking at me.
the African cannibal figure in Trilogy of Terror that runs around and attacks Karen Black, what we saw when we were a kid, that was all stop motion.
Yeah.
You look at it now and you go, oh, that's kind of funny stuff, but back then it scared the crap out of us. Everybody was at school was talking about that the next day.
I saw that Zanti Misfits when I was 7, and I didn't want to. My mother, I complained so much that I wanted to watch the show that my mum let me. But when those guys came on, I didn't want to watch it anymore. But she made me watch it because I'd stayed up to watch it because it was on late.
You stayed up to watch it. Now you're gonna have to watch it.
That's right. Yeah, that's how great my mum was.
This is one of the things that makes Toth amazing, is what Vic mentions there. Learning not to simplify figures like he does would be great to learn. Yet on the other hand, he did simplify them down. That's one of the reasons why I like C.C. Beck's work on Captain Marvel so much, because he came in off of advertising and said, okay, I'm doing comics. What are comics? They're bright colors. So you need open spaces. So he pared his style down to next to nothing, enough to get the point across and to have a style to it. Alex is the same way. Well, that works ideally for him for animation, because he's got so many people going after his character sheets, having to animate this stuff frame by frame. So it has to be simple and it has to be basic.
I think what I've learned over the last, 2 or 3 years, especially, working with you and doing this and finding out more about other artists. So obviously I know a fair bit about my favorite artists, but not as much about people like Toth and what have you. And going through some of the artwork, something that I have become aware of, and now I've changed my mind over, is I was very much an advocate of a strong style. But what I didn't appreciate was how an inker could change your style, but also how you could change your style according to what genre or output you were using it for.
Right. Yeah.
And eventually I started to understand that. And it's extremely visible in the work of Toth and in the work of, say, Buscema in comics, that you can see their style underneath the presentations that they give. Yeah. So, for instance, that book we were looking at a few weeks back, the horror stories, and Toth was in there doing like black and white with greys and what have you, and washes. And then you also had Gene Colan in there using a lot of washes as well.
Yeah.
And you could see the different ways in which they were finishing off their work according to what they wanted to present. So my core ideal, as in people can look at a piece of art and go, that's a Russ Leach. That's still there.
Yes.
But now I understand more about the fact that it doesn't have to look the same every time.
That's the essence of it, isn't it?
It's just your essence is in there, and people can see that and appreciate it and go, that's a whoever, that's that artist's work. But you can still change yourself up. And that's something something I'm in the process of, because I mean, my first couple of books are a particular look. But obviously the stuff I'm going to do next is going to be a completely different look. And it's important to be able to, verify your have variation in your output.
And to underline that, Russ, that drawing there is very sort of what I would call like an advertising drawing.
Yeah, it is.
But it also looks like Neil Adams, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a little
young
bit,
Neil Adams. But it's a very advertising kind of advert illustration that you and I have both done in the past.
Yeah.
But that is underlining exactly what you just said.
Yeah. It's just you can see Toth in there. Okay, but he's expressed it in a particular way for a particular output. And you can just looking at it, look at you come down and you look at those figures and look at the simplicity. No, down at the bottom panel. Look at the simplicity with the way that he's popped the shadows in on the girl, and then just the design of the tiger man. Just
and don't they look like a group of people who are just walking? They're not all they're not marching. They're just walking,
and they're not standing there posing either.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's for a proposal called the Cat People.
Oh right, Thundercats, Thundercats.
Probably an early version of that by about 20 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Then they mentioned that this particular presentation piece, the secretary here, was patterned after Alex's then wife. Yeah, Guyla.
Guyla, there's a name. Guyla.
Yep. Shipwrecked on Mars.
Guyla, love you.
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
What is Kiss, James Kirk?
Yeah. Nita's in the house.
Nita.
Vic says it's weird. I don't know you run this on the Indie Comics Network. We're all archived over there. You might have to look under the live button, but all of the shows are archived over there, Vic. If you haven't been watching our show, we've done like 3 shows on Steranko, about 5 shows, I think, on Walter Simonson. There's a couple of a show on Brian Boland, a show on Don Newton that we did. You might check out
Jack Kirby
also. You might check out the Sunday Funnies program as well that we do on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m.
Even if you run through those comics by night at double speed just to see the artwork and listen to us at Chipmunks, it's worth looking at the pages,
Yeah.
There's we've been looking at some incredible work here. What do you find weird? Meaning it's strange for me not to know who runs something this cool. Thanks, Vic. Make sure you tell all your friends, and subscribe to the Indie Comics Network. We are growing. Our numbers are getting bigger all the time. So
it's lovely to have someone like Vic, who is very young, be so open-minded and eager to look at genius material. And he makes a great comment later on about the 90s stuff.
I'm lucky
16,
to be 16.
Well, come on, Vic.
Wow.
You've got a lot to
stuff,
Vic.
You're just starting, done, bud. Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Most people my age don't even know who Ditko is. Yep, exactly.
They don't even know who Kirby is either, do they?
That's why we want to do this kind of stuff. Yeah, I know adults who want to be a part of the industry who don't have a clue too. LOL. Yeah. Yeah, you're not alone. Yeah, it's all part of the research and education. This is a phenomenal art form that's been around for I would over 100 years at this point.
Yeah.
So
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would say about 200,000 years cave painting.
Yeah. Well, if you look at cave paintings, yeah.
And then that was in your previous time, Russ.
Yeah,
20 billion years previously.
20 billion years ago as well.
Well, who knows what the previous civilizations did. So.
Sitting there for 20 billion years listening to people complain.
Until it comes around again and we get the good stuff again. Yeah.
Who was that guy 15 billion years? Oh, yeah, I remember it.
That's just the second age, mate. There's billions of years.
I
before
know.
that.
That's the best thing about it.
If I do go to a second trilogy,
yeah,
they will be going back to the second age. So
oh.
Jekyll and Hyde.
I've got big arcs in my head. So
anyway.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Look at the way
That's ridiculous.
In the late 80s, HB proposed a weekly series adapting famous literary works to animation. Among the proposed adaptations were Jekyll and Hyde above and Three Musketeers below.
Three Musketeers. Look at that.
Look at the guy with the stool. Look, he was smacking on somebody's head. Who's the guy behind him, though, in the background? Look at him, the shadows behind the stool. On the edge of the panel.
Oh, yeah,
look at
he
him.
looks evil.
He's a mean, isn't he?
Yeah. And then that work on the right-hand side makes me think of Bernie Wrightson a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Heavy shadow work.
Yeah, beautiful stuff.
The Man in the Iron Mask and the Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, Count of Monte Cristo. Didn't they do all these?
No.
I seem to remember there being, when I was a kid, I seem to remember there being a Three Musketeers cartoon.
There was a Three Musketeers cartoon. It was part of the Banana Splits.
Yeah, Banana Splits. Yeah. One banana, two banana.
In fact,
banana,
we looked earlier. He did up all of those character sheets on how to fence. Remember, that was for that.
Yes. Yeah.
How to fence with a foil.
Mm.
That's back in part 1.
Yeah, there was. I'm sure there was the Three Musketeers, and I thought they might have called it the Four Musketeers because it had D'Artagnan in it as well.
Yeah.
And then they actually had the Man in the Iron Mask in it
as
a character, because obviously he's a prisoner. But I think they made some wacky character where he had an iron mask.
Wasn't
I'm sure I remember something like it was a long time ago.
There's a huge body of musketeer work that Dumas did, like a regular. It's almost like the Tarzan novels.
Yeah. Well, you could probably
there's a set storyline to it, and there's stuff that happened.
That's all public domain, isn't it?
Very much so.
So that would be a lovely thing to do.
It's all in public domain.
Yeah, I'd love to have a go at something like that. I've got a whole list of things to do in my retirement.
Yeah. Working on my bucket list now myself.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Oh, and that looks like Cocaine Bear. No.
Rawr, sniff. Rawr, sniff.
It's Hiawatha. That's what it is.
Wow.
Says this is the concept that eventually became 72's Tabitha. Yeah. And Adam and the Clown Family.
That
Hello, Techno Teacher.
Techno Teacher.
That guy above,
that's great.
That guy above on the ladder reminds me of a Ditko drawing on a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Is it the Ringmaster and all that lot? And there were the people. One guy had a ladder. His Circus of Fear, was it called?
Circus of Crime.
Circus of Crime, yeah.
And he had a little hypno coin on his top hat that he'd have people.
Yeah.
We don't get to see enough of Hypno Toad anymore, I feel.
There you are. So I believe wholeheartedly streams like this are important. Yep. It's I wish we got more Toth comics. Granted, I wish we got more comics out of literally everyone, regardless of their output. There's a lot of Toth out there, Vic. You just have to know where to look for it, and hopefully not spend a whole lot to get it. You know, because some of the eBay sales now on some of these books have gotten pretty crazy. Yeah, educate people like me. That's the idea, Vic. I've got everyone sorted into playlists. We look fresh and clean. Okay, cool. All good, Mita. Thank you. So go over there, Vic, Indie Comics Network. You can archive us. We've got a couple of days worth of material up there by now, I think. You can, unless you play us on fast speed, so we sound like chipmunks. Vic says, I'll have to watch the Kirby show. Absolutely. That was just 2 weeks ago. 2001. We did. Onward past Techno Teacher. Amazon Patrol. Here's that hit show, The Bionic Wolf. Super Scouts. Buck Rogers, right there. Proposal.
See, even that spaceship seems to weigh something. Even it's still got mass, even though it's in space.
Yeah. It's a floating can.
Yeah, squash can. Yeah.
Squash can. That would have been interesting. The Bionic Wolf. Planet of the Dogs. Yeah. And I know this for a fact. This was a Sea Ghost. They pitched this before they did Space Ghost.
Sea Ghost, Space Ghost. It's all Ghost.
Yeah. They've done, somebody who is a big fan of Toth ended up doing a comic of this style of character. It might not be the exact character, but
love his web feet. What does he do when he gets on land? Just flapperdaps around.
Yeah. Flapperdaps around.
Planet of the Dogs is not derivative at all.
Randy, just read that text at the bottom of that page.
If when I left HB quit, I told him why. It was not about money or politics, power plays, ego trips, not at all. It was about just having had it. With the ever declining standards of the work, our shows, the inane, lousy scripts, concepts, execution of them, it was bad, getting worse, and was out of control. We had no quality control to check it, and nothing better for me to do there. As, for example, a feature unit to be a part of, away from the Saturday morning hog slop. Nope. So I would leave. The smell was too strong. Adios.
Wow. Say what you mean.
That's Alex. He didn't hold back. Then he went on to Wonderland. Alex in Wonderland.
Burt
Went on to
Reynolds.
some TV work, did a little Disney work.
How old is Burt Reynolds there? He's about 25, isn't he?
Yeah. So is that guy. That guy's a big guy, and he's got a pipe, which means he's a professor.
He's important, yeah.
My Disney stint wasn't jolly either. Few notations. Did a little bit of work on Robin Hood. That's what he did, the animated feature. Look at that. That's Toth right there.
Look at that right-hand page, though. Not a black inside. It's just fantastic, isn't it?
It's character drawings for Skyhawks. That actually got turned into a series, I believe. Yes, I came in late on startup, so my design and or layout stint was brief.
Yeah, no blacks at all. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Just lines. Look at that. If we could draw half as good.
Again, they're all doing something, aren't they? They're not just
standing around.
Yeah, they're all doing something. They're all, it's
got again, that dastardly look there. The old Ace, wacky Ace character. Yeah. You can tell that's the mechanic. That's the main hero of the show.
And the thing is that they're wearing their hats, aren't they? Their hats are not part of their head. Do you understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The way they just wear it. It's just, wouldn't they? Yeah, the way it's got it tilted back and everything.
Yep.
Fabulous.
Natural.
Yep. Look at that. Oh, it's like he started doing something on that, then stopped.
He's doing a little bit of outline, and then nope, don't need
wonderful
it. Wonderful
difference
working
in
fast.
line weights.
Yeah.
Love that girl there.
Yeah. Hot Wheels.
That was the comic off of the toy.
Right.
That I think DC did for a bit. It says, aside from designing and art directing the series, Alex also penciled 5 of the 6 issues of the DC comic book based on the show. Not to mention writing and illustrating the 5th issue, which was centered around his favorite car, the 1937 Cord. Below, an infrequently seen Toth comic cover. Dexter and his goon have boxed me in. What's next? Great. It says it was shoestring budgeted work, and yet I saw lots of wasteful animation called for from the director. Knew I'd lock horns with every turn of his screw, so I backed out. Some production work here.
Good.
Or storyboard, comic work.
Look at the way he's holding himself as well. The ribs when it just got punched in the ribs, and he's really hurting in that panel, isn't he?
Slouched forward. Yep. So I tiptoed in and out of studio work, in-house sit-down jobs, and freelancing at home, doing comic book work for new European accounts, writing, drawing my own little copyright sign, Bravo for Adventure, and other shorter tomes for them and USA publishers, with gain of more knowledge, enjoying more satisfaction, controlling work, start to finish, and
owning it
too. First for me. I have his Bravo for Adventure book. We'll go over it sometime. That's good examples from it. Very hard use of blacks, very simple drawings.
Look at that
effective.
Last panel, yeah. Look at the headlights shining on the car and then shining on him and the gun and underneath the hat. Wonderful. Wonderful that.
HB and I kissed and made up back in the series TV production. Joe B asked me to design C-Lab 2020, top to bottom. I did, adding an original title design and opening sequence for the show, which was fun. Drawn, inked, toned, and it played well. The pacing, cutting of it, though, was notched up to the usual zip, zap, zip HB timing we all love to hate, spoiling the underwater slow-mo effects. Mike Nesmith, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
No question. Here's some storyboard work.
Oh, just pull that book down a bit, Randy. We can't see the top. That's it. Ta-da.
Quickie stuff here. Quick little notes. I'll get in the camera panning. Right. It's basic shapes, really. Collections and quick drawings. That's the title opening sequence, I think, for C-Lab, the old C-Lab 2020. Not the one they're currently showing on Cartoon Network that has everything redubbed.
When did Alex Toth die? About 2006, was it?
5 or 6, yeah, I believe so. He was sick for quite a few months before, though, enough for everybody to write him a letter. Never did any cons. Never did a couple of them in the early 70s and hated them. So never went back and did them again. It's more C-Lab 2020 material. Again, no solids, just lines. A little bit of solid work here.
Yep.
Let's get the shading in real quick. Illustration there. I think you can tell those were hand done. Just laid in by hand. A little shaky there. That was 72.
And again, they're all doing something.
Yeah.
It's like he's got to draw them moving. It's just great.
All swimming, walking and swimming.
Wow.
Look at that. All these different angles. That's phenomenal. Right there. All of the machinery, even the handheld. It's got a razor there.
That's the mother box.
Moon pool. Yeah. Hardware undersea tractor. Little pulling up a landmine there.
That tractor's fantastic. It looks like a little tank, doesn't it? Look at those.
Yeah.
Like the armor plate. It looks like a modern Batmobile type of thing, doesn't it?
It does.
That's great. Simple line work again. It's just phenomenal.
50 years ago,
Yeah.
you know, drawing stuff like that. There we go. Look at that.
Wow. I spent some time on that. Probably
Well,
an,
again,
extra, an extra half hour.
It's 4 and 4 here. These are 8 different illustration character sets. Wilbur Campbell leaning up against the wall there. He must be the worrywart Dr. Smith of the series.
And on that top page, the bottom right panel, of the interior of with the steering, the steering wheels. Are those notes telling you what things are doing? Because I can't read those.
Yeah, I can hardly read them either.
Is it just saying this is, the steering wheel or whatever?
I'd have to get too close to it. Have the controls. I can't. I'd have to pull up my magnifying glass. Let me
It's okay.
get that. Give me just a second here.
It's like a super dinghy at the bottom there, isn't it?
I have a little magnifier for just such an occasion, especially with the way my eyes have been. Oh, hey, earthquake at the Zim residence.
This is all live, guys.
That says something that controls, and I still can't read it. It's so small. Plane controls. Column up and down, drawing with thumb rest buttons. Something you have it. It looks like. Still simplicity here.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Metalman's ship,
Yeah.
just like a blow up.
And Wilbur Campbell down there leaning against the wall,
Yeah.
looking worried.
Great stuff.
Look at that. Wow.
Oh, it's
What's he growing in the horticulture room, I wonder?
Their food. They're under Sea Lab was a base underwater in the year 2020.
Huh.
And all the adventures that they'd have, yeah.
Along with a moon base.
Almost like a moon base.
He's got a little head, that guy, isn't he, at the bottom? It's next to the wheelchair guy. Yeah, the guy standing up.
Young kid. Oh, up here, yeah, that's a little out of proportion, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a little tall and skinny. Like this stash, very 70s. 72, this was done. Great shit, though. It's crazy. Crazy good. Operating room. It's nice. Exam room. Went through and did it all. That's what he said, top to bottom. Designed everything.
Yeah. But it all works, doesn't it? Look at the way the guy on the page above with the binoculars is standing, like he's got his legs further apart than normal to keep him steady while he's looking through the Do you know what I mean? And the guy on the wheel is just standing normally. It's fabulous. There's just attention to detail, isn't it? Makes it work.
Detail that.
So okay, even right down to the moray eel and the tabletop fish tank with the sun lamp.
Yeah, and he does. He said previously about selling it, didn't he? And you can see why it sells, because it's so good. You're not going to think, what are those guys looking like on that cabin there with the wheel? He shows you.
Yeah. Yep.
That interior bio lab. It's brilliant. And when he got the moray eel idea, you can sort of imagine him thinking, well, I know what it is, but I'll have to find out what it looks like because I've got to draw it. You can sort of imagine him getting a book with it in and drawing it, because he can't have just drawn it. You know, who knows what a moray eel looks like?
Right.
Maybe Alex Toth does. Yeah.
Explaining the gun.
But that was part of it, into the research, because when I was doing that book about my dad, you know, the paratrooper thing, I had to research the weapons and rates of fire and all that kind of thing. And it's just fascinating to read.
Yeah.
And that's obviously what he's done. He's thought, right, I'll find out about a moray eel because I want one in. So it's got to look like one, because somebody will say that doesn't look like one, you know.
Yep. Whale.
Yeah, look at that. That's great, isn't it?
Some beautiful shots here. Again, the perspective is just like second nature.
Oh, we all want a drawing board like that, don't we?
Yeah.
I had one like that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
When I was doing layouts and stuff, I wasn't really drawing that much, but I had one like that. It was like a pneumatic lift on it and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Now I've got a big wood. I had a big old wooden one that was like, it must have been 40 years old. I wish I'd kept that one, but eventually got rid of both of them. Everything went digitized. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
Now I've got this massive board, and it's on cast iron stand with a. If I want it moved, I have to do it manually. So
brilliant.
Cave paintings are the first sequential art. Boonga Boonga caveman comics.
Oonga Boonga. Yep. Gotta love Oonga Boonga.
They sound like the lineup for the Classics Illustrated books. Yeah. Yep. Same idea.
Like snoo.
Yeah, I got to do my String of Pearls Sweeney Todd thing before too long. Toth did Zorro also. Yeah, I've got that book too. I know that artist Sean Gordon Murphy got the rights to do Zorro and saw some nice black and whites of that he has done so far, although he's bringing Zorro into modern times. Well, you know, some things. I helped illustrate a book of the first set of Zorro stories that were printed by a publisher, because they've been in public domain for quite a while. That they actually went through the Zorro estate and got approval on whoever owned the rights, because we had to have approval on the illustrations. It was a lot of fun to do. It's one of the few books that I actually gave my dad, because he knew Zorro. Planet of the Dogs. It sounds completely original. Got to make a Space Ghost style thing. Now I got enough crap I got to finish. Yeah, everybody's got a list, Vic. You're young though. Just don't waste any time. I'm gonna have to get the issue of Boris Karloff Tales of Mystery he did. Yeah, one of many. All right, nap time for me, so I can half-ass function later. Take it easy, folks. See you Monday, Glenn.
See ya.
All right, have a good nap, Nita. That page of sequentials looks amazing. Yeah, we'll go over some Toth sequentials here sometime real soon. Vic, promise. Didn't realize how many romance comics Toth did. Toth did a lot of everything. I've got an entire book, like I've said before, of all of his drag tune cartoon illustrations, and that ranges from really hardcore detailed mechanics to just the most simplified, amazing layout and composition that I've ever seen Toth do. Just some crazy imaginative stuff. Those vehicles are great. Yep, Toth. Yep. A random question. But how old is that drafting table? Which drafting table? This one here?
Your
I think you
one,
mean, yeah.
My drawing table?
Mm.
I bought this back in, when I did my first comic story. I bought this table. It was $50 at the time. So that was probably 82, maybe 83. So carried it with me ever since. It's like Kirby. If you ever see Kirby's drafting table, he had the same drafting table for decades. So, and it shows. He's got ink stains and all sorts of debris and stuff all ganged up on the all on this great, well-used, beautiful table. They have enough where it doesn't look like a crappy job, but doesn't to overdo it like some art. Well, that he was doing this for animation, so he had to keep it simple and functional. That tech is all functional. Yep, Vic. And Vic says, I think that's it for now. Nope, there are new comments. Let's go here, looking. And nope, I can keep the one I got for my 16th for that long. Yep, hope so too, Vic. Hope it gets a lot of good use. Moving on. More stuff. More swimmers. Wonderful little aircraft carrier there.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Great. It's amazing. That's their decompression chamber. Yeah. Had to think of everything. Had to design it all. There's glasses.
Yeah, these guys with the tashes really look like the 70s, don't they?
Yep. Great stashes. Guys just standing there again. Side view.
Bruce Forsyth, that one.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
Father Dear Father.
Yeah.
It's even got the chin.
Yeah. Yeah, like that.
Little squid.
Squid. Oh, he's squid with an arrow.
Squid.
Yeah.
As if we didn't know what squid was.
Yeah, in case you weren't sure, yeah.
It's a wrecked shipwreck here. This is what it looked like originally. At the bottom of the ocean.
Wow. And that fish swimming across it in black.
Yeah, that's a shadow.
Right.
Isn't it? No. They've got a bright light on it anyway. It's a big light coming down.
Wow. And he's pointing the illustration of it, side view, is pointing to the hold and what's in it. Yeah.
Got to keep the animators informed.
Yeah.
Underwater welding. Another shot of that Jeep with the tractor dredge.
I like the extra wide tracks.
Yeah. Right down to the little equipment for the scuba diver. This little boulder line work here. Sub. Great control panel, just with basic blacks and white squares.
Look at those submarines above it.
Yeah. Here as well. Just great stuff.
I was going to say, is that the reactor? And it is. It says it there, doesn't it? Reactor room.
Yeah.
Look at that. Fantastic.
Had to cover all the bases. It's also a nice perspective shot right there.
Yeah. He's even done a drill and everything. He's not leaving. He's not leaving any room for anybody to say, "Well, you didn't tell us about that."
Yeah. It's a brace drill.
Yep.
Underwater weather station. That's Clark. Good job. Let's look at that, though. That's crazy. Reactor room. Last of the Sea Lab material. Captain Glenn.
Yeah. You spelt it right as well. See, when he's sitting there and sitting down, and the helmsman is he's using his feet. He's got feet pedals, foot pedals, hasn't he, as well?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just brilliant.
He's got to have the brake.
Yeah.
Drive it like a car. Just awesome there. So much stuff. On to Oliver Twist.
Oh wow, completely different.
Oliver at 14. Deacon. Flip.
That's the Artful Dodger flip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
The show was fun design. You go Oliver, Oliver and the Artful Dodger.
Oh, there's that guy. There's that guy. That's Mr. Bump. That looks like the guy in the film, doesn't it?
Harry Seacombe.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
Here?
No, on the other side.
No.
Down below. That one. Yeah.
He's the head of the...
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Yeah, head of the school or whatever it is.
Mr. Bomble. Yeah.
Look at that guy on the next page, a snidey look on his face. At the top left. You know what I mean? Really snooty, snidey look.
Yeah, it does. Lily bit.
Yeah.
Or Sipperly. Possibles. Where are we sitting here? We're at 1 minute or an hour and 32 already.
And they've got that mole on the nose as well. Make him look a bit meaner. That guy there looks like Kenneth Williams, doesn't he, Russ, at the bottom?
A little, yeah. Oh, matron.
Frying tonight.
Frying tonight. Oh, matron.
So we get to keep one that long. He's covering his ass like everybody else.
Yeah.
Oliver Twist teaching kids how to mug people unsuspectingly.
That was a profession back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Yep. Still is in some places.
Yeah. What do you do for a living? I steal things. Oh, admirable. That guy, that sort of butler bloke, that's amazing. All right, okay.
Master Dreadly.
Negative space there. Yeah.
Changed it up a bit, haven't they?
Yeah.
It wouldn't matter what he did; he'd do it so damn well.
I know. It just. Even look at the candles at the top. They've even half burned down.
Yeah.
See what I mean? At an angle. That dog doesn't look too happy, does he?
Looks a little angry.
And Mistress Dreadly, on the right, the bottom right, looks quite depressed.
Yeah.
That one on the left there that you just pointed to looks like that film, doesn't it? That Japanese thing where she comes out the TV with the long hair.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. And again, just real simplistic lines there just to get the feel of the door.
Yeah. And that woman there looks really, really depressed and had not a bad life in terms of money, probably, but situation.
Yeah. Life in general.
Yeah. Rosie and her roses. Mr. Brownlow.
Brownlow.
It was called Brownlow, aren't they? He didn't look too well.
Again, just solids here. Probably used a large felt marker.
Yeah.
Just went through and marked them out.
And his knees
contrasted against the thin lines here.
His knees and toes and under the blanket.
Knees and feet. Yep. Just beautifully done.
And people think this is just silly comic art.
Well, even Alex thought at the time that it was just production art. Let's get it done, get it out. Rest of Oliver here. Now we're getting into some stylistic villains again. These are for Josie and the Pussycats in outer space.
Oh, because of course they went to outer space.
Of course they did. Yep. The Josie others were just a wee stretch a la Bigfoot style to match set styles of shows. I tried to suit with mixed results. I love that cat. Cat alien. Just amazing in the simplicity, but it looks complex. Going sideways again. More Josie designs. Some serious, some crazy, some humorous. A little robot there holding a big screw, it looks like. Probably a gun.
Looks more like a golf tee.
Yeah.
Little R2D2 above him, just to the left, top left. The guy like a snow ski.
Yeah.
It's like R2D2, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this was done in 72.
There you go, you see.
Everything comes from somewhere. This is cool. Tractor and trailers.
Yeah. He likes drawing tracks, doesn't he?
Yeah. Easy to animate. I'm sure that's what he was thinking.
Yeah. Easy to draw. Easier to draw as well.
Yeah.
And getting that wheel.
It's great little simple ships. Used to love that.
Look at that.
Frogman. Some great scenery there.
Midget clown car.
That looks practical. They could build that now.
Yeah. I love the way he does these black and white cloaks.
Yeah. Again, just enough designs. Oh, I guess that is a clown car. There must be a circus in space. That's what they ran into.
Space circus.
Nothing you can zoo. With a Z. Nothing you can zoo. It's the name of the episode.
Circus Space Soleil. Look at that. I just love the way on that drawing above where he's sitting at the chair where the back of the chair, the black stops your eye dropping off the drawing.
Yeah.
Pushes you back in there. It's fantastic.
Almost Mobius here.
Yeah. Yeah, very open, isn't it?
Look at it quick, yeah. Open, but a lot going on. Oh,
yeah.
Here's cool.
Look at this. Oh, God. Look at him looking through his telescope.
Yeah.
They're all doing something, aren't they? I keep saying it, but they're all doing something. It's just wonderful.
Just looking at the zoo here. Weird creatures. Seen by cats held something.
Look at the guy at the top page with the way the spaceship is going through his leg. Like he's thought, well, I'm not going to block anything out, so I'll just draw it through.
Yeah.
And those buildings as well.
Great little set.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing. Same thing here. All of this detail.
Yeah.
To the big citadel there in the back.
And on the screen below, what is it? Is it mountain ranges? Yeah, it's just wonderful.
Literally just a group of lines.
And that person is reaching forward to press the button on the control panel.
Yeah. And has his hand up.
Yeah.
Cool. That's crazy stuff.
It should have been called Less is More, this book, shouldn't it? Look at the way that guy's
original. We just rip stuff off until we can't tell where it came from.
Look at that guy, the Baron Super Trolley, the guy above, the way he's leaning forward while he's talking to you with the coat on the page.
The cloak kind of looks like Spawn's. Whose cloak? Must have been on the previous page.
Super trolley.
Yeah.
So that's something you take down the supermarket. The trolley with jets on it.
We're probably not even going to get to Super Friends
today. I don't think we are, because you've got a lot left.
Let's look at that.
Looking like a part 3.
Every time you turn a page, there's stuff to look at. Look at that. Oh, just crazy stuff.
There's a very, if you look at those guys there on top left with the long cloaks, he always does a very Oriental look, doesn't he?
Almost, yeah.
You know, like Chinese type of thing. Mm-hmm. Are you allowed to say Oriental these days?
Well, we knew what you meant. Asian. Great little dinosaur right there.
It's difficult because over here Asian means like Middle Asia, doesn't it?
Yeah, Middle East, yeah. So
Middle East.
Arabic.
Yeah.
Oh, Arabian.
Indian, Pakistan, that kind of area. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Look at the thickness of line at the bottom left when he's at the control panel there.
Yeah.
A corpus, so whatever it's called. Look at the thickness of line on that console.
This is just something you can stare at for a while. It's amazing. Sedan chair.
See, this artwork, this is just my opinion, but this artwork of Alex Toth is showing me how good Mobius is, because I think Mobius is better.
Yeah.
And this is absolutely fantastic. That's just my opinion.
And again, though, Mobius was kicking it out, but he wasn't, running a hardcore production cog like Alex was doing.
No. But he did work on some stuff. He worked on Alien, didn't he, and Blade Runner and all those things.
They found him for didn't Jodorowsky find him for Dune?
Yeah.
Dune book that he did, and then he got a lot of movie production work after that.
Yeah.
Some more animals. Look at that.
He's found his black ink again, hasn't he?
Yeah. It's a nice design. Simple. Archopolis. Animal guards. Gazelle, bunny, duck, guy riding a duck.
Is he called Howard? Howard and his duck.
Archipos, big bird. No.
He comes up with the names as well, doesn't he?
Probably off of a script.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, he said he took notes, didn't he, and then disappeared for a week. Yeah.
This is from. This looks like Lost in Space.
I'm going to say that tractor gizmo thing in the middle.
Lost in Space.
I remember that
robot.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's from Forbidden Planet, isn't it? That robot. Originally.
No, that's the Lost in Space robot there.
Yeah, but it's similar to the one in
Forbidden Planet. Yeah.
Look at that boy's expression on the left, bottom left of that page there, near the robot. Yeah, that one. Yeah, look at this expression.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This is probably where we should end it.
Oh, that looks like the guy, doesn't it?
Dr. Smith.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah. What's he called? What's he called? The guy, the actor. But that looks just like him, doesn't it?
I want to say Jonathan Harris, but that might not be the right one.
Yeah.
Zachary Smith.
Yeah, it says it at the top. By Jonathan Harris, who portrayed.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in the Three Musketeers as well. Yeah, that looks just like him, doesn't it?
It does.
That's a Mort Drucker standard.
Yeah.
Look at the way he's preaching like he was and rubbing his hands and walking, and he was really cocky, wasn't he? And Jack Davies' foot there again. That's brilliant.
We're at an hour and 46. We probably don't want to start the next chapter yet. We can do that in part 3, you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
That's all Super Friends and beyond here.
Superman, he's finally got there.
There's some great stuff coming up. The Rescuer Down Under, in which Alex heads to the land of the G'day to supervise the Super Friends. Bill Hanna had a credo: work expands to fill the time allotted for it. So he pushed hard to ramrod work through the studio. From the April contract signing week to New York City network offices, we started late, behind, always. He got all worried and twitchy and productive, overheated. We hit the ground running, stumbling a lot too. Amen. Still, the avalanche of demands for such shows from the major networks forced HB's hand. The boom hit big, hard, long, and all the animation old timers in HB hated this stuff because it robbed the medium of its cartoon fun. It took a while for me to appreciate their meaning, but I did. They were right. Too much ugly stuff, poorly conceived, produced, clunky, humorless, banal, comic bookishly mindless series were and still are forthcoming from Quest's breakthrough approach. Only WB Fox TV's animated Batman has first-rate performance levels and its production team to set a tone of low-key realism, dramatics, which is a fine example of what Doug Wilde's Quest tried so hard to do, but was frustrated from it by the HB studio system and chain of command woes of control of the finishing style and tone of the show. Wow. That's how he felt. That's Toth's initial layout for Super Friends, which we will go into next week. Right? Lots of great stuff here. All the characters are coming. You don't want to miss it. That'll be part 3.
Brilliant.
I was kind of worried we'd end up going 3 parts on this book, but that's okay.
Well, looking at what you've got left, it might be 4.
We still have that much to go. Yeah.
Still, it's okay by me.
That much so far. We'll see how it goes. All right, folks, we deeply want to appreciate you watching. Again, this has been Comics by Night for the 31st of March, 2023. Looking at Alex Toth by Design book. We hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. So on our way out, we want to tell you who we are and how you can find us. So, Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me. I just got this. This came through the post while I was on the show. So you can find me in the pages of Birdman. There's a little poster inside.
Wow, look at that.
A nice two-face on the back. So there's lots of me in there. You can find me in Only Death Can Save Us. You can soon to be, because the campaign's over, but you can pick up originals from me directly from the website, russleach.com. The links aren't on there yet, but I will put them up there, and you can get them through PayPal, or you can just go and get the first book currently re-edited for a global audience on Amazon or places like that by New Haven or soon to be Viking Press Comics. Book 2 will be following later on in the year. And other projects that will be announced soon. One that particular that I'm looking forward to that I'm doing with Randy. Some more Doctor Who, so you can see me in the pages of Doctor Who magazine as well. So you can find me just about everywhere online, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Go follow me on Instagram because there's a piece of artwork up there every day, or sign up for my email list. Do both. It's good for you. And you can find out all of those things at russleach.com.
Fantastic. Glad and tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on the usual places like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and those kind of things. You can find me in the pages of my magazine, Comics Unlimited, which is a 100-page magazine about comics, and issue 12 with interviews from me, Russ, and an article by Randy is in the next issue. I'll be making an announcement about this book shortly, not today, but in a few days' time, about where you can get this. And the same applies to this book, which is my book about going to Jack Kirby's house many years ago, obviously. I made 2 trips to his house and I produced this book about that. But and you can find me on these podcasts, and thanks, Randy, for having me on Fridays and Sundays.
Thanks so much for coming on. Folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my work over at aerocomics.store, where you can find such books as HeroBot Zero, number 1, and number 2 is also available with a cover by the legendary Scott Rosema as well. Calico of Shard with artwork by C. Michael Lanning. It's a great fantasy title that I created. Just love doing. Can't wait to show you more. And as well as Paragon, who is a superhero title that I do with artwork by J.R. Harris. Again, another story that I'm very proud of. You can find us back here on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. for the Sunday Funnies. You can always find us archived over on the Indie Comics Network under Comics by Night or Sunday Funnies. Sunday Funnies is a program where we pull out the stuff that really inspires us, that keeps us going, that we love doing. It's kind of like Comics by Night here, but we're not always pulling up different works to show. We're more talking about other things that we love about this business that keeps us going. Here we show off the masters, the great stuff that really inspires us, and talk about what makes the work as good as it is. So we're really glad you were here to be with us today. Thanks for being live and getting up. Thanks for watching us afterwards. Like I said, our numbers are growing constantly, and we just love doing this stuff and showing it to you. So if there's anybody else that you want to see us cover, feel free to drop us a comment, drop us a line, let us know. So other than that, hopefully sometime real soon, we'll get this going. Right here, we might have a campaign up for another book that I've got done called The Fool, which is also a property I'm real proud of. He's kind of the rodeo clown of justice. That's the easiest way to describe him. Goes around and fights crime using practical joke weapons. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, and there's the first couple pages on that too. Just had that
brilliant. I love
got
that
the colors back in. Yeah, just it's Patrick Gama did the coloring work on that. He is amazing. Just phenomenal stuff. So you might see a campaign for that soon, real soon. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, folks, check us out, aerocomics.store. Check us out, indiecomicsnetwork.com. And guess we'll see you soon. Any last words?
No, you know it.
Folks, try to leave this industry in better shape than what you found it. We love
Buy
educating
comics.
and showing this stuff off. This is our passion. This is why we just love doing it and love talking about it and can do it for hours, as you have just seen. So we barely got through a third of a book. Anyway,
Daphne Lage said it best. Buy independent comics, especially ours.
Buy independent and alternative comics, especially ours. Yep. Do the work. She also says now, do the work, because when you do the work, you don't have to lie about your accomplishments.
Yeah.
Take care, everyone. Love you all. Thanks again. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Hit that like and love button here. Leave comments. Any type of interaction with the site is deeply appreciated. And let's try to grow this audience and show off this wonderful art form we love so much. So
that's what
we shall see you soon. Take care, everybody. Oh, on the way out, I have to run the disclaimer. So, and a couple of other bumps. We'll see you, because who knows what opinions we've given out. Yeah. See ya.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
I hit it and it never goes through. Just drives you crazy.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comic Supply store. Use coupon code RAGIN10. That's RAGIN 10.
Look, everybody's entitled to be an idiot.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent. Then I'm all great.